and welcome to Frank Amo's Visual Audio Readout. I'm Saloma Dedra, your host and guide to the vast treasures of knowledge read for your enjoyment. Each week, celebrities and those verbose in the higher realms read to you live, unedited, from the rarest books in the world, courtesy of Frank Amo's prized personal library. So please, sit back, enjoy, and may wonder and truth fill your heart.
Chapter 4 of Unctions, Filters, Potions, and their Magical Virtues. Unguents, or unctions, cauleries, filters, and company, conveying the virtues of things natural to our spirits, do multiply, transform, transfigure, and transmute it accordingly. They also transpose those virtues which are in them into it, so that it not only acts upon its own body, but also upon that which is near it, and affects that by visible rays, charms, and by touching it with some agreeable quality like to itself. For, because our spirit is the pure, subtle, lucid, airy, and unctuous vapor of the blood, nothing, therefore, is better adapted for collyriums than the like vapor, which are more suitable to our spirit in substance, for then, by reason of their likeness, they do more stir up, attract, and transform the spirit. The same virtue have other ointments and confections. Hence, by the touch, often plague, sickness, fainting, poisoning, and love is induced, either by the hands or clothes being anointed, and often by kissing, things being held in the mouth, love is likewise excited. Now the sight, as it perceives more purely and clearer than the other senses, seals in us the marks of things more acutely, and does, most of all, and before all others, agree with our fantastic spirit, as is apparent in dreams, when things seen do more often present themselves to us than things heard, or anything coming under the other senses. Therefore, when collyriums transform the visual spirits, that spirit easily affects the imagination, which, by being affected with divers species and forms, transmits the same by the same spirit unto the outward sense of sight, by which there is formed in it a perception of such species and forms in that manner, as if it were moved by external objects, that there appear to seem terrible images, spirits, and the like. There are some collyriums which make us see the images of spirits in the air, or elsewhere, which I can make of the gall of a man, and the eyes of a black cat, and some other things. The same is made likewise of the blood of a lapwing, bat, and a goat, and if a smooth shining piece of steel be smeared over with the juice of mugwort, and be made to fume, it causes invocated spirits to appear. There are some perfumes or fumigations and unctions which make men speak in their sleep, walk, and do those things that are done by men that are awake, and often what, when awake, they cannot or dare not do. Others again make men hear horrid or delightful sounds, noises, and the like. And in some measure this is the cause why mad and melancholy men believe they see And in some measure, this is the cause why mad and melancholy men believe they hear and see things equally false and improbable, falling into most gross and pitiful delusions, fearing where no fear is, and angry where there is none to contend. Such passions as these we can induce by magical vapors, confections, perfumes, cauleries, unguents, potions, poisons, lamps, lights, and company. Likewise by mirrors, images, enchantments, charms, sound, and music. Also by divers rites, observations, ceremonies, religions, and company. when the soul of the world, by its virtue, doth make all things that are naturally generated or artificially made fruitful by sealing and impressing on them celestial virtues for the working of some wonderful effect, then things themselves not only applied by colliery or fascium or ointment or any other such like way, but when they are conveniently bound to or wrapped up or suspended about the neck or any other way applied, although by ever so easy a contact, they do impress their virtue upon us. By these allegations and company, therefore, the accidents of the body and mind are changed into sickness or health, valor, fear, sadness or joy, and the like. They render those that carry them gracious, terrible, acceptable, rejected, honored, beloved, or hateful and abominable. Now these kind of passions are conceived to be infused no otherwise than is manifest in the grafting of trees, where the vital life and virtue is communicated from the trunk to the twig and grafted into it, by way of contact and alligation. So in the female palm tree, when she comes near to the male, her boughs bend to the male, which the gardener seeing, he binds them together by ropes across, but soon becomes straight, as if by the continuation of the rope she had received a propagating virtue from the male. And it is said, if a woman takes a needle, and bewray it with dung, and put it up in earth, in which the carcass of a man has been buried, and carry it about her in a piece of cloth used at a funeral, no man can defile her, as long as she carries that. Now by these examples we see how, by certain allegations of certain things, also suspensions, or by the most simple contact or continuation of any thread, we may be able to receive some virtues thereby. But it is necessary to know the certain rule of magical alligation and suspension, and the manner that the art requires is this, visibly that they must be done under a certain and suitable constellation, and they must be done with wire or silken threads or sinews of certain animals. And those things that are to be wrapped up are to be done in the leaves of herbs or skins of animals or membranous parchments and company. For if you would procure the solary virtue of a thing, this is to be wrapped up in bay leaves, or the skin of a lion, hung round the neck with gold, silk, or purple or yellow thread. While the sun reigns in the heavens, so shalt thou be endued with the virtue of that thing. So if a saturnine quality or thing be desired, thou shalt in like manner take that thing while Saturn reigns, and wrap it up in the skin of an ass, or in a cloth used at a funeral, especially if melancholy or sadness is to be induced, and with a sad, or ass, or leaden, or black silk or thread, hang it about thy neck, and so in the same manner we must proceed with the rest.